I have the pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
My name is Daisy Gordillo, and I will make an analysis on the speech called I Have a Dream, given by the American civil rights activist Martin Luther King Jr. during the March of Washington for Jobs and Freedom on August 28, 1963, in which he asked for civil and economic rights and end to racism in the United States.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. Five score years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty. I have a dream.
In this speech, he expresses his infinite happiness to provide support to all his compatriots, and with certain in his words, he says that this speech will go down in history. He pauses, takes a breath, looks at the audience, and resumes with the words he wants to express, which is that in spite of the passage of many years, exactly 100 Negroes are still enslaved and going through a life of poverty and loneliness.
But one day, this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream.
In this part, he tells of the dream he wants to achieve for his people, and that at some point his creed will be fulfilled and all human beings will be seen in the same way. He is an activist who demonstrates confidence and inspiration of the subject. He gives time to process the information and allows viewers to applaud his commitment.
I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted. And every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith,
it includes metaphors, dreams, goals, and achievements that he would like to achieve in the future. Deliver your speech in slow, concise speech in appropriate tone of voice for the space you are in. Firmly and skillfully transmit confidence to all listeners.
We will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, "My country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire."
His body language is rigid, but with a slight movement of his hands and head, looking from time to time to his right and left, thus transmitting security, confidence, and tranquility. He also allows people not to be distracted while he speaks.
From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring.
He used a particular strategy, in this case talking about something personal, telling about his dreams and what he wanted to achieve with his family, and that at the same time all this was received by his people without exception. This causes more confidence in people.
Under that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when it happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, "Free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last."
He used words, expressions common and expected by the spectators. For example, "I have a dream today," "finally," "free," "injustice," among others. This with a certain elevation in his tone of voice, which causes emotions among all people.